Hello everyone, welcome back to Namalax Bangalore Presents Current Issue of the Day, episode number 190. Today we will discuss about Global Peace Index 2025. In today's video we will discuss which region of the world are most peaceful and which regions of the world are least peaceful, and which country tops the list and which country bottoms the list, and what is India's position, why is India there, and what is the position of Indian neighborhood, and what is the position of important leaders like USA, Russia, China. Everything will be discussed today. So it is important from GS2 international relations and GS3, that is internal security as well. Why it is the context, that is the 19th, the most recent edition of Global Peace Index, that is GPI, was released recently. Who releases them? It is released by Institute for Economics and Peace. Institute for Economics and Peace, which is an NGO with a headquarters in New York. It linking the peace, economics and development through database. Okay, it uses the data and links peace, economics and development. Based on these indicators, it releases Global Peace Index as well. And what are the indicators? There are total 23 qualitative and quantitative indicators which are clubbed under three major spaces. That is, first is social safety and security, that is what is the safety and security of the people in society, as well as social cohesion, communalism, etc. Everything will be discussed under social safety and security. Second is degree of militarization, how much military does the country have, what is the spending on military, what is the spending on air force, etc. will be considered in degree of militarization. Then the most important one is ongoing domestic and institutional conflicts. Ongoing domestic and institutional conflicts. What are the conflicts that are happening within the country? What are the conflicts that a country is facing in outside? For example, consider India. Internal domestic conflicts are northeastern insurgency or Naxalism, and internal conflicts is the recent Operation Sindoor and the war with Pakistan. So these are the indicators that are considered when deciding a country peaceful or not. Okay. Next is highlights of this index 2025. What are the highlights of 2025 GPI 19th edition? It said that the world is on a rise in continued global peace decline. Okay, so there is decline of what? The peace is declining and the conflicts are on the continued rise. That is, there is a drop of 0.36% from 2024, that the peace has reduced by 0.36%, meaning the conflicts or the violence has increased by 0.36% in the last year. And 59 active state-based conflicts are going on at the moment. 59 countries are at some sort of internal or external conflicts at the moment, which is highest since the World War II. You can see how violent the geopolitics has become, how confused the geopolitics is at the moment, how distorted the geopolitics is at the moment, which is the most significant since the World War II. Next is the declining conflicts resolution, meaning the wars are on the increase and the peace pacts are on the decline. The data is declining victory, decisive victories. When the victory is announced, then the war stops. But in current times, the decisive victory is hard to achieve. The decisive victories have gone by or dropped by from 49% in 1970s to 19%, because the involvement of the countries in these kind of conflicts in current days is almost the same, meaning they are on par with weapons, they are on par with technology, so it is very difficult to assess who is a decisive victor. When there is a decisive victor, it also means that the war has ended. Since there is no decisive victor, the wars keep on going. For example, take Russia and Ukraine. Many consider Russia to be very powerful and many consider the war will be over in 1 or 2 months, but it is almost now more than 3 years, and still the war keeps on going. And then peace agreements have also dropped. It has dropped from 23% in 1970s to 4% at the current rate. Okay. Next, 17 countries. In 17 countries, there are more than 1,000 conflict-related deaths recorded in the last 24-25 year. Okay, more than 1,000 conflict-related deaths in the last year only in more than 17 countries. You can just make out how non-violent the global world order is at the moment. Okay, how unpeaceful the global world order is at the moment. Next, the rankings. Who are the most peaceful countries in the world? So most peaceful countries in the world are the usual suspects, that is the Scandinavian countries, and the top one country in the peace is Iceland, which is on the top since 2008. No country has ever dethroned Iceland. It is mainly because of no army and less okay, low level of crimes. Okay, they say that in Iceland there is no army is there obviously, and second is the crime rate is virtually nil there. And then second is Ireland. So Ireland was once which was a conflict ridden country between Britain and Ireland, between Protestants and Catholics. There was a complete of conflict was happening in Ireland, but now it is considered as the second most peaceful country. So why? Because of inclusivity and social safety benefits that is provided by the government of Ireland. Next is Austria. Again, Austria, one of the major players in World War I and World War II. It is now the third most peaceful country, mainly because of its political neutrality since World War II. Next is New Zealand. New Zealand is at number 4, mainly because of the level of personal freedom that one enjoys in New Zealand. And also it is most of the times conflict free only because of the location it is, and also because of the people they are in. Then is Switzerland, zero internal conflicts because it always maintains neutrality. And then it is Singapore, law enforcement is very strict there. As a result, the conflicts are very less. So Singapore is the top most peaceful country in Asia. Next is Portugal, that is tourism and military pressure is presence is very less. Portugal was one of the major colonial powers of the recent past, but now they are most peaceful because they maintain very less military, and also social security and tourism is very good in there. And then the usual suspect, that is Denmark, a Scandinavian country again. It is mainly because of high social trust and also low violence in the country. And then surprisingly Slovenia. Slovenia is mainly here because of the low crime level and global governance and good governance. Then again a usual suspect, that is Norway, the Scandinavian country, that is strong democracy. As a result, Norway is in the top 10 peaceful country. Okay, so these are the peaceful. And what about the worst performing, that is least peaceful countries? In the least peaceful countries at the 163rd ranking, okay, the global peace index ranks 163 countries based on 23 parameters, and the first was Iceland and the last one is Russia. Why? Because you can easily guess, because of the high militarization and its internal as well as external conflicts. It is facing terrorist attacks in Dagestan, and it is fighting a war with Ukraine, which is almost going on for almost 3 years. Next is Ukraine. Obviously, it is contributed mainly by Russia and Ukraine war. Then it is Sudan, which is a African country which always go through internal conflicts, internal wars, and also the threat of pirates. Then Democratic Republic of Congo, again it is similar to Sudan only. Most of the North African countries are going through these issues, that is internal conflicts, coups, etc. And there is Yemen, which is also going through civil war. And then Afghanistan, which resulted in a change of governance from USA-led military democratic rule to current Taliban rule. So as a result, it has dropped down in rankings. And then there is Syria. Again, it has gone almost 2 decades of internal conflict is going on in Syria. And then it is South Sudan. Okay, as I told you, because of internal conflict, Sudan is always performing less, and one of the major internal conflict led to separation of Sudan from South Sudan. Even then, both Sudans, that is mainland Sudan and the South Sudan, are always going through conflicts. Then it is Israel, because you can guess again, if Israel, because of its conflict with not only Palestine but also with Iran, but also with Houthi rebels, it also with Saudi Arabia, etc. And then it is Mali, again a North African country, which is Sahel region country in Africa, which is going through a coup, that is military trying to destabilize the Republican democratic country. Then what about the regions? Least peaceful regions are Middle East and North Africa, because you might have seen most of the least performing countries are from these Middle East, Yemen, etc., and North Africa. And then South Asia is the second least peaceful country, which is proudly represented in this unfortunate event by Pakistan, China, India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, etc. Next, what about India? So India has secured the rank of 115 out of 163. It is actually a positive outcome here, because India was 116th in the last edition, and it was 126th in 2023 edition, and it was 139 in 2020 edition. So there has been a steady improvement in India. The score is around 2.229 out of 3, and the challenges according to, because of why the country is performing less is because of internal tensions, mainly the communalism, mainly the Naxalism, mainly the Maoism. And then security conflicts between India and the neighboring countries, between India and the terrorist organizations, and regional conflicts between different countries, sorry, different states, and then urban crimes, that is increasing crimes in urban areas. Because of this, India has performed very poorly here. Next, India and the neighborhood. In India, sorry, Asia Pacific region. In Asia Pacific region, Singapore is representing Asia at at the sixth position, and then followed by Japan, which is at the 12th position, best performing country in Asia. Then is Malaysia at 13th, and Bhutan, best representative of South Asia Pacific region, sorry, South Asia region, and then Mongolia, 37th rank. Then what about Indian neighborhood? What about India neighborhood? Okay, neighborhood. So neighborhood, Bhutan is the top one, that is a 21st rank, and then comes Nepal, 67th rank, and then Bangladesh, 81st rank, and then comes India, 115th, and then Sri Lanka, 121st, China, 127, Pakistan, 146. So we are exactly in the middle of South Asia region. Okay, we are performing worse than Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh, and performing better than Sri Lanka, China, and Pakistan. Why is China so low in this? Because of high spending on its militarization and recent conflicts with India, and also conflicts with the Philippines, etc., etc. And why Pakistan here? Because of its continued conflicts between India and Pakistan, high militarization, and also high soil given to terrorists, etc. And what about USA? The Doddappa, that is the big country of world. It is currently at the rank of 132nd, meaning it is performing worse than India. Why? Because it is mainly because of high militarization, because of the demand, or because of the budget they spend on militarization, and then because of gun violence, rampant gun violences in schools, malls, etc. And then mainly because of their involvement in global conflicts, be it Iran, be it Israel, be it South Sudan, be it Yemen, be it Syria, etc. Everywhere you can see USA's footprint there. So these are the reasons why USA is performing very less. So this is about Global Peaceful Index. We covered this in a holistic way. So since we saw why India is performing poor and what can be the way forward should be, way forward can be focusing on reducing the internal tensions, addressing the regional conflicts, and addressing the urban crimes, and then security conflicts. With this, India can perform and keep on improving its position in Global Peace Index. So this is the today's topic. If you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. And if you have any topics to be discussed, write down in the comment box so that we can bring a video or a dedicated video on that particular topic. So for more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.